Yeah, hello friends. Welcome to Kishan's Universe of Sustainability. We are in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Those are 17 goals which are outlined by United Nations in the year 2015. They are going to achieve by 2030 with the collaboration of all the stakeholders in the world. And here today we are going to discuss about the great climate action initiative and the initiative which is going to contribute to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals that was started by University of Michigan. So that pioneering step initiative has named as Global CO2 Initiative, which is started by University of Michigan. So here how the global CO2 initiative has actually participation even with academicians and even with different stakeholders to transforming the carbon intensity in the atmosphere, in the environment. And it focuses on the research and educational opportunities and activities, how the opportunities, how the capability of technology is there for the converting of CO2 into the useful things. So this is what the outline of today's video. The Global CO2 Initiative has started the work, the research work, which mainly converting the CO2 and capturing the CO2 from the atmosphere and different sources that stored and that converted into different things which are useful into the daily basis of the human beings. So let's get started into what is actual theme of this CO2 initiative of University of Michigan. And here you can observe by the chart, we are now facing a global warming issue that is majorly by carbon emissions. So each and every sector nowadays are affecting by carbon emissions. So in this, the major influencer emission is CO2, and the human beings are majorly influencing, emitting CO2 and other transportation areas and other sectors. There are different sectors which are emitting CO2. And so because of this intensity, the atmosphere is in the carbon imbalance mode. So due to maintain a balance in carbon intensity, this initiative has started how to utilize the carbon in the atmosphere and how to remove the CO2 and how to store and how to convert into technology and how to make some things which are useful into that. So the solution for carbon emission problem has got the from the research of this global CO2 initiative. So from reforestation to direct air capture, CO2 removal and utilization technologies are transforming a liability into an asset. And they are creating a long-term economic benefit to our climate, and they are contributing and stimulating economic growth as well. This is what the entire research process of this global CO2 initiative of University of Michigan. The basic goal of this initiative, this is a global initiative of University of Michigan, is going to identify and how to pursue the commercial sustainable approaches that is going to give the solution to the carbon emissions, and the major focusing on reduce the global carbon emissions, and that should be contribute to the universal SDG goals and economic aspect as well. So the researchers are aiming to develop and evaluating the CO2 elimination technologies that is going to remove the carbon dioxide intensity from the air, and that is going to convert it into the useful products like concretes and biochars and other useful products. And the researchers and market analysts, they're anticipating that carbon negative dollar positive approach. What is that? Carbon negative and dollar positive approach. So by converting the carbon from different sources, they are picking up and they are converting by using the carbon emission technology into the useful products. By making that, they are, negative. They are negativating the carbon and positively improving the dollar approach that is going to improve the economic value. They are getting billions of dollars. There are many approaches are there, so we will discuss in the video in detail. Recently coming to the carbon trading has also gained importance in the worldwide, so due to that also the economic value is going to added from the carbon. And then so then we discuss about the research activities of global CO2 initiative. They are focusing like carbon capture and utilization technologies and a carbon removal index and the CO2 consistent project and blue sky initiative. Like there are different initiatives I started by the University of Michigan under global CO2 initiative. And the CCU, that is carbon capture and utilization technologies, are expected to fuel $1 trillion market that is going to increasingly attract to investors, policymakers, and environmentalists. And next, the carbon removal index. This is a metric that is going to quantify the progress towards the long-term goal of carbon dioxide capture, utilization, and storage. And for 2020, the cumulative amount of carbon captured CO2 adds up to approximately 77 million tons, according to the University of Michigan news. And the basic the basic research projects of this initiative, the CO2 consistent project that is going to build guidelines for conducting the different areas like PEA and LCA for CCU, that is carbon capture and utilization. And the TEA, nothing but the techno-economic assessment, and LCA, nothing but life cycle assessment. They're going to focusing on studies which would be contribute to the carbon utilization technologies. And the next project, that is Blue Sky Initiative. Under Blue Sky Initiative, the University of Michigan has framed different aspects like bendable concrete and stronger natural fibers for composites and supercritical CO2 electrolysis using hedgehog particles and CO2 sorbents. And the first one, bendable concrete. Majorly, the cement industry is one of the biggest CO2 emission in the global around. So the University of Michigan found a way to utilize the cement CO2 emissions from the production of cement that is going to be used in curing of it to make bendable concrete. So here you can observe this is a Kitahama building, which is there in Japan, which has built by using this bendable concrete technology. And next project, that is stronger natural fibers for composites. So here, the natural fibers are reinforcement of polymer composites, the care attention due to their remarkable medicinal properties and low cost, carbon neutral nature and recyclability. And the next project, that is the supercritical CO2 electrolysis using hedgehog particles. The economic utilization of captured CO2 becomes possible when it is electrochemically converted into nanoscale products that can be used as fuel, ultra strong materials, and high performance plastics. And next, that is CO2 sorbents. So, in order to capture CO2 from the atmosphere or industrial process most effectively, the University of Michigan under Global CO2 Initiative has developing new sorbents that is going to increase the carbon capture capacity of a moisture stable sorbent. And the sorbent material are tailored to provide higher CO2 capacities, high CO2 or N2 selectivities and high rates, low resorption temperatures and moisture stability. And coming to the education aspects of global CO2 initiative, there has developed that Tech Lab Climate Change Global CO2 Initiative Student Association. So the education at CO2, Global CO2 Initiative builds a new workforce through courses, projects, and student projects and student research aspects. So they are going to include outreach for general public and policymaker, decision makers at local, national, and international level. And here, the Tech Lab Climate Change is a company in residence program for emerging companies that is going to making a significant impact on carbon balance of planet. So the program is an immersive learning experience for the students that is going to address the climate change. And next one, Global CO2 Initiative Student Association. It is a multidisciplinary organization involving University of Michigan undergraduate and graduate community. They're coming together to discuss in the areas like the climate action and global warming and CO2 emissions, how to convert the CO2 capturing towards to useful things by making seminars, projects, professional developments, and community outreach. And here there are different products that are outlined by this global CO2 initiative, carbon products and utilization. So from concrete to plastics, there is a tremendous opportunity which is identified by global CO2 initiative of University of Michigan for captured and utilized carbon dioxide to reduce emission footprints, as well as they're creating market opportunity or economic value of that captured CO2 for critical sectors around the world. So here you can observe carbon into materials. They are going to construction materials like cement, concrete, asphalt, and timber and super hardwood. And carbon into concrete and carbon into fuels and chemicals and carbon negative and dollar positive. Like for industrial fluids, enhanced oil recovery and power cycles, enhanced water recovery. And in the areas of fuels, synthetic and microalgae fuel, macroalgae fuel, coming to plastics, polycarbonate and polyurethane forms for chemical preservatives, medicinal, carbon blank, and many more. And carbon fiber, carbon nanotubes, and algae-based food or animal feed, and microbial fertilizer, and biochar, and biopesticides, and biocosmetics. So these are the different aspects and different things which are useful for the society by using carbon capture technology. So this is for today's lecture, and I hope to get new stuff today. Thank you very much. If you feel this is worthy, and please share with your friends and other. Thank you very much for your patience listening. Thank you.